Hello, good evening. I'm just gonna, whilst I wait, I'm gonna take about 2 minutes and just set up everything just so that I am sure that everything is working out all right. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, right. So on Instagram, it is working out well. I'm just gonna check that it's working out well everywhere. So we're on live on Instagram. Let me check Facebook. And I'll check YouTube as well. Okay. So once I check, okay, on Facebook, it is uh okay, we are live on Facebook as well. Okay. And let's have a look at Instagram and let's have a look at YouTube as well. So let's see this. Okay. Yes, we are there on Facebook. I'm just going to share this. If you bear with me, I will share this and I'll make a start. But for the moment, just bear with me. I haven't got any music to play for you. Okay. So I'm going to share this and then I will make a start ASAP. I think I can hear my baby crying. Okay, right. So I have just checked. I think Facebook is live and live on my page as well. Good, great. Instagram, yes, we're good on Instagram. And let me check YouTube as well. Okay, I think we are good everywhere. Yes, we're good on Facebook. Please do let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me as well. Do let me know. I would really appreciate it if you do let me know that you can see me and hear me on, um, give a thumbs up, say a hello in the comments so that I know who is that's you can see me and you can hear me. I would really, really appreciate that just so that I know that everything is working all right. Okay, either a thumbs up or a comment in the chat. Let's see, thumbs up or comment in the chat, and then I will know that we are live. Okay, right. You are live everywhere and we can hear you. Okay, thank you so much, iWing Marketplace. Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. I hope you are having a good Sunday. I'm having a really, really good Sunday. Unfortunately, I have got a cold, so if my voice sounds a bit hoarse or my voice does not sound really well, then it's because of a cold. I've got man flu. That's what we call it in the UK. Okay, in the UK we call it man flu because it floors you. Okay, it absolutely floors you. It's a bit like the feeling of having man flu is as if you are from West Africa, you will be familiar with what malaria does to you. Okay. So that is what man flu does to you. The aches, the pains in your joints and everything. Um, that is it. So it is malaria as well as having a cold join in one. Right. So, good evening, everybody. My name is Ivy. If this is your first time watching me, I am a mindset empowerment coach. That's what I call myself. Thank you so much, Derek. But also, I am a teacher, I'm a mentor, and a coach. Okay. I'm three things, which, if you look critically, it is just the same thing. Teaching, mentoring, coaching, all wrapped up. You're a teacher. Straight. Okay. So I'm a teacher. That is who I am. I teach and I mentor and coach young people, that's children and parents. The aim of this is because I strongly believe that parenting is as good for now as it is for the future. And so, if you want to carve out a really good future for your children, then you need to start now. So, as a parent, you need to start now. As a young person, obviously there'll be no children on here, but if you're watching with your children, because this is rated all children can watch it. There's no swearing, there's no foul language or anything like that here. So children can watch it as well. So if you are a child watching this, then maybe you might want to, nudge your parents towards what is mentoring. Ask them these questions. So that is what I do. Okay. Thank you so much, Derek. Good evening. Thank you for watching as well. Please, you can support us. If you are watching from Facebook, you can support us by sending stars. Stars are a digital currency which we can earn some money through them, but that will also give us the opportunity to produce more content. You would see that my setup has kind of changed a little bit, so hopefully we can get better content to you using better pictures and all of that. But notwithstanding, I am still really excited to bring you the content in its raw form as it is. Now, if you are a parent on here and you're watching me, you would attest with me that the way that you parent probably is not the same way that you were parented by your parents. And there's one thing that I have to say. Our parents did the best that they could with the resources that they had. Okay? Our parents did the best they could with the resources they had. So even if your parent did not give you what you thought should have been given, they did the best they could with the resources they had. They gave their all. And you might sit and say, oh, they did not give me love, they did not give me peace, they did not give me joy, and this and that and the other. Maybe they did not know any better. So the first thing I'm going to say here is, if you think that there's something that your parents did not give you, the first thing you need to do is forgive them for that. Okay? Whether they did knowingly or unknowingly, you are called to forgive them for it. The best you can do to your children is forgive your parents for the things that you thought they should have given you that they did not give. And why am I saying this? I'm saying this because once you clean up that slate, that chapter with your parent, you can become the best parent that you can be for your children. But you need to clean up that slate first. You need to clean up that chapter first. By the way, if you're just joining me, please do share the video. I would really appreciate you sharing so that we can have many more people. This can reach many more people. It'll be really great. So our topic for today is the advantages of a healthy parental love. 4 advantages. I'm going to bring you 4 advantages of healthy parental love. I will be on here for about roughly 30-45 minutes. For about 30 minutes, I'll probably be talking at you and reading comments and also reading questions. But for the last 15 minutes, I will be answering your questions. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat. I will scroll through and I'll find them and I'll answer them at the end. Okay, so what are these 4 advantages of healthy parental love? Can I just say before I start on these 4? As a parent, you have 2 jobs and 2 jobs only. To love them, okay? You are called upon as a parent to love your children despite of the fact that they are rude and insolent and they'll manipulate you, despite of the fact that whatever, are called to love them even if they are being whatever you call them. Okay? Even if they are being whatever you can think of, you're called to love them. The second job that you have is, and that is nurturing. When you love them, you nurture them. The second job that you have is to provide structure for them. When you provide structure, you set limits and you set boundaries. And that is when the love that you have for them is not abused. Okay? So those are your 2 roles as a parent. You're called upon to love them or to nurture them and to provide structure. Now, when you love as a dad, when you love your child in a healthy way, notice I emphasize healthy, because there are some parents, I must say this, there are some parents who do not love their children in a healthy way. A healthy love is that which accepts the child and provides that nurture and structure in a healthy way, bearing in mind that the children are going to eventually become healthy adults. That is why I say parenting is for the future as well. So, when a dad The love that a dad provides is slightly different to the love that a mom provides. And these two loves have different roles to play in the child's life. And I know that you might be a single mom, or this might reach a single mom, and you're wondering, so I'm a single mom or a single dad, or a one household, a one parent household, and you're wondering, so what do I do then? I'm just by myself. You can find positive role models for that child of the opposite sex, because the child needs love from a male and from a female. Healthy love, mind. Okay? So, in the context of this video, I am going to refer to mom and dad, but not be aware that sometimes it's not mom and dad. Sometimes it's mom and uncle, or dad and auntie, or it's maybe a mentor somewhere. Okay, so what does dad bring? When dad loves the child in a healthy way, dad will bring a sense of enoughness. Okay? Dad brings a sense of enoughness when they love the child in a healthy way. That means the child feels enough. The child feels that they can face the world. The child feels that they can trust themselves to face situations when they arise. That is what the healthy love of a dad brings. The dad brings a sense of enoughness. What does the healthy love of a mom bring? It brings stability. Moms are stabilizers in the household. Okay? So when a mom loves a child in a healthy way, it brings a sense of stability. When a dad loves a child in a healthy way, it brings a sense of enoughness. It brings that sense of, yes, I can conquer the world. I can go out there and I can conquer the world. How does that look like to a girl child and to a boy child? Can I just say that this healthy love from the mom and dad has different roles to play in boys and in girls? So, when dad loves a boy child, it makes the child to know that they are Superman. It makes the child to know that I can go out there, I can conquer, I can rule, I can be a person of authority. I can, it affirms them. The role of the dad is to affirm. When the dad affirms their boy children, it gives them that sense of invincibility. It makes them feel invincible. When dad affirms the daughter, it builds a sense of self-esteem in the daughter. A mom's or a child's, a boy child, a male child's first love is the mom, whether you like it or not. Fortunately, it is not a sexual love in that respect. It's filial love. Every boy child, their first love is their mom. It's not sexual, it is filial. Every girl child, their first love is their dad. It is not sexual, it is filial. And so, when the love of the mom and the love of the dad join together, it makes the girl child have a really good sense of self-worth and self-esteem, and it makes the boy child to feel invincible. That means they can conquer the world. That is why you would find in situations where you have a boy child who had the healthy love of both parents. Notice I'm saying both parents here. And like I said at the start, it does not have to be the biological parents. It can just be an adult who loves that child unconditionally. But you need the love of a male and a female, a mom and a dad, to make that child feel whole. And like I said, to recap, dads give a sense of enoughness, moms give a sense of stability. Now, what are these four main advantages? That was me just introducing. I'm still probably going to mention these things. The first advantage is intimacy. When you have healthy parental love, so you are called upon to give your children healthy parental love, because they will build a healthy sense of intimacy. There are some children, I work in a school, okay? I have worked in schools for the past 20 years. I've been a teacher for the past 20 years. There are some instances where you have children in schools who've never ever had a hug from a parent. Even Thierry Henry, in his interview with Stephen Bartlett, Diary of a CEO, he said he did not know what a hug meant from a dad or from his mom. So it builds that sense of a healthy sense of intimacy when the child gets healthy love, healthy parental love. Okay. And of course, that sense of intimacy means that they are going to have healthy attachments. A healthy attachment style is that which you know when to pull away from someone and you know when to stay on next to someone. When you have a baby, the baby is solely dependent on you for survival, for food, for bathing, for changing, for in fact for survival. But as the child grows older, you would expect that the child will gradually detach from the parents through the help of the parents. Now, if there's a healthy love in the family, if there's healthy parental love, both from mom and from dad, that child is going to gradually detach. You expect that by the ages of 7 to 10, that child is able to spend at least 30 minutes to an hour or more by themselves, entertained without you being there. From 10 to 15, you expect that the child will spend much more time away from you. And from 16 and above, you're expecting an increased level of maturity still. So that healthy love, parental love, it brings that intimacy and a healthy attachment style. This healthy attachment style makes it such that the child can develop their emotional, their social, and their psychosocial characteristics. That means they'll be able to form friendships. They'll be able to be dependent on themselves and self reliant if their friend doesn't want to play with them. Okay. The second one is availability. How available are you for your children? Please, if you've just joined us, like I said, do share the stream. We are streaming on 3 different platforms of Facebook, on our YouTube channel, and also on Instagram. So if you're joining us, please do share the stream. I can see a few people from Instagram and Facebook here. So do share the stream and invite other people to watch. Also, you can support us with stars. The message is there. You can support us with stars, which helps us to kind of stream, bring more valuable content to you. All the content that we share on this page is aimed at supporting parents and children. Okay, let's go. So, the second one I said was availability. When you are available, how available are you? I'm not saying here, availability here does not mean that you spend 24/7 with your children. It's not healthy to spend 24/7 with your children. But when you are spending time with them, you are fully committed to them. You're giving them 100% of your attention. It doesn't mean you are punching on your phone and then you are answering a question that they're asking. Put the phone down. Stop the meeting. Turn around, face them. Are you available? But it's not just availability to them, it is also your availability to the other partner, because your availability to the children and to the other partner models what the child will grow to know as availability to their own partners. So, positive interactions with people, with the other part, the other parent, and with the children is important, is key, is fundamental. Okay. Positive interactions with people. Notice I'm not just saying with a child, it's not just with a child. Positive interactions with people. That means when you're interacting with someone, you put all distractions away and you focus on that person, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Positive interactions with the other parent, whether you are in a relationship, whether you're a single parent, whether you are married, it models how those children will become available to other people in the future. The third advantage is safety. I cannot emphasize this enough. Healthy parental love brings a sense of safety to the children, because when you love your children in a healthy way, you will not let them do anything that they want to do, especially if that thing goes against the culture that you have set up in your household. You will challenge them when they do not do their chores. You will challenge them if they are using language that is not appropriate. You will challenge them if their behavior is not appropriate. That is healthy parental love. It brings a sense of safety. They know the boundaries. You set the boundaries and the limits, and you follow up on consequences. It brings a sense of safety to young people and children in general. And of course, this sense of safety, it brings emotional security, which is the foundation of all trust in humans. So if you want to grow your own adults that do not have trust issues, you have to give them healthy parental love now. Some of us have trust issues because we did not have that healthy parental love when we were growing up. We could not trust that our parents were going to look after us if anything happened. We could not trust that our parents were going to take care of us. And so we developed trust issues. But if you want your children to build that sense of trust, self-trust and trust for other people, you have to, you have to show them a healthy parental love. Then the last one is trust. So when you can love your children in a healthy way, it helps them to self trust. But then this self trust is an excellent ingredient in forming long term relationships. Self trust is an excellent ingredient, is the foundation of forming long term relationships. Because tell you what, if I don't trust myself, I cannot trust another, right? If I do not, sorry guys, I'm just going to have a drink of water. If I do not trust myself, I cannot trust another. Okay, now this is the time when you start typing in your questions or you start adding your comments. I'd love your feedback. What do you think about the four advantages? Do they stick or do they not stick? What is your take on those four advantages? Oh, goodness me, this cold. I'm really bumped up. What is your take on these four advantages? Do they stick? Do they make sense to you? Is this something that you are implementing as a parent? Is this something that you struggle with? Um, is this something that you're not sure? But also, if you are a parent on here and you are watching and you're thinking that actually I would really love some support in this area of my parenting, of how to show this healthy parental love, then please do send us a message, and you can send us a message. I am going to send me a message, okay, either on Facebook, on Instagram, or on YouTube. Send me a message and I'll get back to you and we can book a call so that I can see how to support you. Or if you have a young person that you are struggling with, okay? Because our children, sometimes we struggle with them, and that is all right. It is all right to struggle with parenting because there is no manual for parenting out there. There is no one size fits all. Every child is unique. And so you want to do the best that you can for your child. I'm sorry. So, if you think that you need some support with your young person or with yourself as a parent, do send me a message. I will book in a call with you. We can have a 30-minute conversation about how that support looks like and what that support will be, and then take it from there. Okay? So, those are the four advantages then. So, if you affirm your daughters, that's your place. You are so instrumental in helping your daughter to form really high self-esteem. Okay, fathers, male role models, you are the pillars of self-esteem of your daughters, of the girl child in your household. You are the pillar of their self-esteem. Mothers, you are the stabilizers. You bring stability to that household. You make your sons to want to find wives, partners in the future who would bring them peace and stability. So if you are a mother on here watching this, you bring stability to that household. If you're a dad on here watching this, you bring a sense of enoughness. That means you make your children feel enough, especially your daughters. And tell you what, if you can make your daughter and your sons to feel enough, when they find themselves in relationships that are not healthy for them, they will be able to walk away. You see, there are many relationships out here, and people are asking, why don't they just leave? You know, um, they are being abused, they are being battered, they are being bruised. Why are they not leaving? Fundamentally, besides the fact that women will say, oh, I'm staying for the children, blah, 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 blah. I'm not undermining their pain, by the way. Fundamentally, at the crux of it, it is self esteem issues. Okay? So, if your children can grow with high self esteem, know that you have given them a template for relationships in the future. And if they ever find themselves in any relationships that are not healthy for them, they will have the courage to walk away. But if they do not have that healthy parental love from you, then they will not have the courage to walk away. Derek, you're asking, hello, Derek. Thank you for coming in. And your question is, can a single parent balance this equation? Now, you might have just been joining in, but I said earlier that in a single parent household, it is your duty as a single parent to find a role model, a healthy role model. Could be an auntie, could be an uncle, could be a mentor, could be, I don't know, a coach somewhere. It is your responsibility to find that healthy role model that will model what the other parent should have brought into that relationship. Because there is no way that your son is going to view their dad as their first love. Sons will view their moms as their first love. Hi, Marilyn. Hello, my darling. Sons view their mothers as their first love. Like I said, it is not a sexual first love, it is a filial first love. And if you are a single dad, then you need to find a, a role model, a female role model that your son can feel that stability from. A female role model who can bring that stabilizing effect in the life of your son. Like I said, moms are stabilizers in the household, and dads bring that sense of enoughness in the household. So in a single parent household, while one parent can try to, bring that need or feed that need for mom and dad at the same time, you also then have to go out and find. I'm not saying that you find someone to be in a relationship with. No. Okay. It can be an aunt, it can be an uncle, it can be a teacher, it can be someone who is trustworthy mind. Okay, because these days even aunts and uncles, we need to vet them. You need to vet even aunts and uncles. Can we also give this advice, knowing single parent households are from different reasons? Absolutely, absolutely, Marilyn. Because in a single parent household, it could be that, the single parent is, by choice or for one circumstance or another, for one reason or another, they are not with the other parent in the same household. However, in single parent households, if it's an issue where the mom or the dad cannot be present in the child's life, because I would always advocate for a situation where both parents, they may find lawyers or whatever to support them to provide the needs of the children and put their differences aside. But I also understand that there are situations where this is not the case, where it's so rotten that both parents cannot healthily provide those needs. So it is the duty of that single parent to seek out that healthy role model for the child. And picking that role model takes time. Absolutely. It's not an issue of when you're in different locations. It's not an issue of when you would Marilyn, if I understand you, are you asking that if the child is in a different location to you who is picking the role model, it is the duty of the parent who lives with the child to pick that role model, or who spends majority of the time with the child to pick that role model. However, if that is not the case, then the other parent can intervene. But I often would say, if parents can put their differences aside and focus on the child, that brings the child the best outcome. Obviously, if I was working with a single parent, I would explore situations. Would go through and would explore. Are you in a are you in a is it are you able to work with the other parent to bring this stability to the child, or are you able to find a role model? Maybe it can be school, maybe it can be a club that you sign the child up to, maybe it can be an aunt or an uncle. If they are not available, maybe it can be a mentor in your local community. There are people in local communities that could stand as those. However, it does take time, like you mentioned, Marilyn. It does take time. The role model is in a different location based on the fact that some of us are abroad and some of the role models are in a different province. Brilliant. So I get it. Role models could be in a different location, but guess what? The beauty of you can see me talking right now, right? You can see me talking. We can have an interaction online. I know that a face to face interaction, the energy is completely different, but we can have an interaction online. We can have telephone conversations. You can work with that role model to be actively involved in that child's life, you know and sometimes for children, guess what, children don't want you to spend 24/7 with them. Like, I stay in my house, my 10-year-old, 14, 17, they spend very little time with me. Honestly. They want to do their own thing. They want to go and play their games. So if you can dedicate 2 hours, if that role model can dedicate 2 hours within the week to that child and hone in, okay, have meaningful conversation, be actively involved and motivating and supporting that child over those 2 hours in a week, and be consistent. If you tell the child that you're going to show up at 5 o'clock, show up at 5 o'clock, please. Because the moment you tell the child that I'm coming at 5 o'clock and then you come next week, you have broken trust, and you need to rebuild that trust with the child. Okay. Once you broke trust, once you break trust with children, you need to be the adult to rebuild the trust. Hi, Barbara. Hello, my darling. It's good to see you. Oh my gosh, it's been an age. Hi, Bishop Kamara. Good evening. Please do share to invite other people. This is a topic that is really important, especially in an African community. Like I say, my passion, my heart is in Africa. Okay. My heart is in Africa. I'm an African. I'm a Cameroonian woman. My heart is in Africa. First step, forgive your parents. They did the best that they could with the resources that they had. They parented you in the best possible way that they knew how to. Because for some of us, we are thinking that, oh, mom did not show me love. Mom never gave me a hug. Dad did not give me a hug. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not undermining all of those stories. I'm not undermining them. But Now that we know better, we can do better. If you know better, you forgive the past and you do better for the future. We are called upon to do better for our children, because the moment mom and dad come together, or boys and or male and female role models come together and provide a healthy love for children, you leave them with two things. You leave them with a sense of enoughness, and you leave them with a sense of stability. And those two, you cannot beat a child who has high self-esteem. You cannot. That child, when they grow up into an adult, it builds resilience. They will be so resilient. Any child or any adult that has a good, healthy sense of self-esteem, they have so much resilience. They can stand in the face of adversity. They can conquer the world. They can overcome any given problem that is there in front of them. They will go for the big jobs. You know, we come from a community where sometimes we shy away from certain jobs or certain roles, let me say so. You find that a role is advertised. I have been in a situation where a role is advertised at my place of work and I shied away from it, okay? I shied away from it. I did not have self awareness then. That was about 8 years ago. I could have gone for that role. All of my colleagues were looking at me and saying, "Come on, Ivy, this is for you." And I was like, "No, no, no." Looking back now, I probably did not have the sense of enoughness to step into that role. If you bring it on now, oh my goodness, even if I'm half baked, I'm half qualified, I am applying for that role. But looking back, I did not have that self confidence to do it. You cannot beat an adult who has a healthy dose of self esteem, or self confidence, or self trust. Okay, when you have that self trust, you can conquer the world. You can go on and you can be great. You can do great things. And guess what? Your children know that you have a high sense of self worth, they can sense it. If I compare my life, I always look at my life comparatively. If I compare my life from 10 years ago to now, my children show up now differently, you know, from when they did 10 years ago. They are not any different children. It's just because I have walked into self, I have worked on myself to develop my self esteem, and they have seen mommy stand in her self trust, and they have developed self trust as well. Obviously, the things that I'm doing now are kind of different to help them build that self trust. But I did not know better then, because I grew up in a completely different system. I grew up in a completely different household to the one that I have now. Yes, my parents did an amazing job. Okay. I cannot fault them for anything. But it was not the norm in my community at the time to bring up, to affirm children, to tell children that they, to actively verbally affirm them, to give hugs to children. It was not the norm. And so that healthy love was, we knew that our parents loved us because they gave us food. Mom's way of showing love was, have you eaten? when she's when it don't frap you where 10 minutes later and you're still crying, she'll come and ask you, have you eaten? That was her way of showing love. But now we actively affirm our children so that they can develop that healthy sense of enoughness, that I am enough, especially in this world right now where we've traveled to the West. It is here that I know that I am black. you know Growing up in Cameroon, I'd always been fair skinned, and so it was that yellow popo, that was, or yellow sissy, that was what I was called. But now I am the darker one. I'm a black person, and so naturally I might be looking down on myself. Initially, when I came to this country, I would shy away from certain things, but now I am standing tall in my power because I've walked into it. We don't want our children to be 30, 40 years old before they walk into their power. We want them to do it now as children, and so we have to empower them. Okay, like I said, if this is your first time watching, my name is Ivy, and I am a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm a teacher as well. I coach, mentor, teach parents and children. The aim is to help parents so that they can parent in a way that builds resilient, happy, kind, compassionate children for the future, but also to have young adults who have a sense of self-esteem and a high sense of self-worth, and who feel that they are enough, to build stable homes, whether it's a single parent household, whether it's a two-parent household, to have stability in the household. Okay, because it is that stability that's going to bring that sense of enoughness. You cannot give one and not give the other. You have to bring both of them to make the whole. Okay, now I did say, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. If this is your first time watching, then please do share, so that we can reach as many parents as possible. My passion is to reach parents, especially parents in Africa, but parents as a whole, because parenting is no different from Africa than it is anywhere else. Children are children. At the end of the day, children are children, okay? But also, I have an exciting announcement coming up. Look at that smile. I have an exciting announcement coming up. Um, I am going to be launching my podcast. Okay. I am going to be launching my podcast. The podcast title is Parenting Made Simple, okay? Where I'll be bringing in lots and lots of guests to talk about parenting, to talk about things that tips and tricks and everything that can help, to talk about how we can go back to the foundations and start bringing up our children in a way that makes them to be kind, compassionate, resilient adults in the future. That is the podcast that I will be launching. It will launch next week, Sunday, same time. Okay. It will launch on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram, just like I'm doing now. So the podcast is going to be on. Okay. By the way, if you are a parent on here and you would like to be interviewed for that podcast, do let me know. Send me a message. Shoot me a message in my DMs. Okay. I would love to interview you. However, they it can get really vulnerable because I want to normalize parents sharing their triumphs and their challenges. As a people, we like to share triumphs, we don't like to share challenges, but it is in those challenges that the most learning happens. What your challenges teach you, your triumphs can never ever teach you. Okay? So remember, it is in those challenges that you grow the most. So if you want to be vulnerable, if you want to share something about how your journey as a parent has evolved over the years, if you want to share the challenges that you faced as well as the triumphs that you faced, please send me a message. Okay? Send me a message. Hello, bro. Good evening. Oh, good evening. If you are just joining me, I am kind of rounding off now. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat. There are three things that you can do for me. Please share the video. That's the first thing. Okay? Please share the video, share the love to everyone in your network. The second thing you can do to me is if you are able to send stars to support us. That's the second thing. And the third thing you can do for me is keep coming back. Keep coming back on Sundays at 7 p.m. It's either we have the podcast or there'll be something else for you. Sundays at 7 p.m. UK time. That is when we're going to be on. Okay. So the podcast is going to be live. Okay. So if you're coming on, know that, you're going to be watched live, and it is a real forum for parents to really come together. I really want to bring parents together. Like, honestly, there will be some young people as well, because it's important to get the perspective of the parents, but it's also important to get the perspective of young people. Okay. It's also important to get the perspective of young people. Finally, if you want to get in touch with me, there's a banner going through there. You can reach me on that number on WhatsApp. Um, it's a business line. Reach me on that number on WhatsApp, and you will get an automated message. But as soon as I pick up the message, I will then respond. Okay. So if there are no more questions, I will love you and I'll leave you. But before I leave, please do remember to share. Let me just say hello, a final hello to everyone. Hi, brother. My big brother is here. Okay. My own very big brother is here. Um, hey, Babis, thank you so much. Thank you, Bishop, for staying on. Thank you, Marilyn, for asking questions. Thank you so much, Derek, for coming. If I haven't called your name, I am sorry, but thank you so much. Iwing Marketplace, thank you so much, bro, for coming on. A pleasure. Happy New Year as well to you. And I would see you next Sunday. Let me not keep you too long. I'll see you next Sunday. You stay blessed and you take care. Bye for now. Keep being the amazing parent that you are. Okay? Remember, there is no rule book for being a parent. We're doing the best that we can. However, there's help and there's support out there. And I'm one of those people, one of those voices that can speak into your journey of being a parent, an intentional parent. Okay. Okay. Hi, Emma. Hello. Thank you. It's a 45-minute one. You can watch much later. Thank you so much. Hello, Valley. Thank you so much. You're just joining when I'm leaving, but the stream is there for you to watch anytime you are available. Okay. You take care and peace and out.